2 months into the new year, and most of us have probably failed our new year resolutions, and now we think we are worth nothing. Now we feel like we're gonna fail, that we're never going to achieve our dreams this year, that we're never going to become the highest version of ourselves. And I'm saying this is completely false, because a part of the year should not determine what the rest of the year will be. A hard, rocky beginning should never mean a bad ending. There are only a few things that I should be aware of at all times, and we're gonna cover them all in what, 5 minutes? Like, it's literally that simple. You need to know that you can start over and start fresh anytime you want. You don't need a new year, you don't need the beginning of the month, you don't need the beginning of the summer. You don't need to wait for the holiday to get back on track. You can start anytime you want, and it's never going to be perfect. But even 5 minutes of extra studying, even though they may not seem much, they may seem nothing, they can help at one point. You may learn some information in those 5 minutes. That can literally be a question to a test. That can literally be something that you need in life later on. And habits never go smoothly. They're like a building something, but the weather conditions are horrible. Like, they can get broken as many times as you want and repaired as many times as you want. So instead of imagining habits as some streak that you need to maintain or else it will be broken, imagine them as a building that gets deteriorated over time. If you let it sit for too long, it would break even more. So the thing is, you should not be afraid to see your habit being broken down, but you should see that everything is fixable. Now, to get your full motivation, you always need to truly visualize the person that you want to become. What do they do for a living? How do they act? What habits do they have? What is their life like? What does their life look like? Try to build them based on your highest dreams and hopes and based on the persons that really inspire you. But the problem is, most people will see the highest version as something far away that can be achieved after a long time of work. And I think to make results, you need to think like you are your highest version right now. You need to act like it. You need to fake it until you make it. You need to make yourself think that you are your highest version, and you need to start doing what your highest version would do. So, the third advice is that at one point you would find everything to be overwhelming and extremely difficult. Most people give up in that moment, but you need to remember that if you find it difficult, overwhelming, or that you cannot do it anymore, you are on the right track, because nothing is easy and there's gonna be a hard work for everything. And I'm sure you've already heard this 100 times by now, but this is usually the point where everyone gives up, or the majority of the people give up. And this is your chance to get above them. This is your chance to finally master the subject that you want to master. And your chance to become that person and be on the top. But also remember that self care is also important, which is my fourth advice, because you should not overwork yourself. One of the most common reasons why people fail is burnout. You need to prioritize self care. You need to take breaks when you have time. And you don't need to make an overwhelming schedule, because we're human and we don't have to work ourselves until we fall on the ground. That is not healthy at all. Now, if you're struggling with something like procrastination, social media addiction, binge eating, etc., and you engage into that behavior because it fulfills you with dopamine and other brain chemicals. And the thing is, you can actually hack those brain chemicals. You can just search it on the internet and you'll find plenty of healthy habits you can put in your life that will make you feel the same way. Then you also need to form habits like journaling, meditating, and self reflecting habits. It doesn't even really have to be complicated if you don't have the time or the discipline yet. You can just sit there in the morning when you wake up and think for 10 minutes. You can also write paragraphs of journaling. You can do anything, but if you sit there and you think about yourself, you can find out more about yourself than any motivational video on YouTube could ever give you. Like, all of these are pretty much general advices that can work on the average person, but everyone is different and everyone has different personalities and working habits. So the best way to improve yourself is to start discovering yourself. Now, to be honest with you, I relapse into my old procrastinating mediocre routine quite often. And I keep trying to be a more productive person. And the thing is, if I never tried, I would have been a much worse person. And I feel like every failed productivity change actually helped me improve a little bit by bit. And so it's never really failed. And I think we can actually do this. I think we can become better people in 2024. And I wish all of you good luck.